What is up, everybody? It is Saints Fan, and today I'm going to be continuing with part 2 of this sort of mini-series that I'm going over on GTA 5 news. And what it's about, if you haven't seen the first video, there's this article, and this guy pretty much had a 45-minute interview with the president of Rockstar North. And in this interview, they talked a lot about GTA Online. And I already did the first video. There's 3 pages of the interview. That's why I'm doing 3 parts. And I already did the first page and the first part, and I'll link that in the description as well as the end of the video if you want to go check that out. But anyway, we're going to continue with where we left off. And the first question on this page is, they were talking about camera angles and driving, and obviously how in GTA 4 you could hit, what is it? I think it's select or B, or it's one of the buttons, and you can switch to different camera angles. And basically the guy just said that you can do everything you can do in GTA 4 with all this cinematic camera angles plus more. So I guess they expanded and they now have different camera angles. So that's pretty cool. And then another thing, this is actually really big, and I don't think it's going to be big on the Xbox 360, but when the Xbox One, and hopefully Rockstar decides to actually bring out the to Grand Theft Auto on the Xbox One, but I'll get more into that. I think in the third video I talk about that a little bit. But basically what the guy asked him, he goes, are there plans to give people the opportunity to record, edit, and share videos they've made, like, you know, machinimas and stuff, without having to go buy an Elgato or a AverMedia or, you know, an external gaming capture device? And the guy pretty much said it's a dream of theirs, and, you know, when you finish the game, press a button, and then it makes a film of the game, you know, he hopes one day that'll happen. And the guy goes, that sounds pretty complex. And he said, not really, it's all doable. So that's what I'm thinking. Maybe once they actually get it on the Xbox One with the obviously updated hardware and all that, then we can maybe even have a theater mode sort of in Grand Theft Auto. And that would be really awesome, because then we can see a lot more better and awesome machinimas and just a lot of crazy stuff. And, you know, I think it'll be really cool if we can actually get that. Okay, so another question they actually were talking about is something called Weasel News. Now, that is a news feed, sort of, I guess, in single player. I'm not really sure exactly what it's about. But basically, he asked them, you showed news feeds of the fellow players escaping from cops. Are we going to have the ability to share them? He says, no, you can't share them. All you can do at the moment is watch the feeds when people have wanted levels from your apartment. So that in itself, now obviously, like I said, we can't share it, so that's kind of disappointing. But they said at the moment you can't. So maybe down the line we could probably do that. But still, sitting in your apartment, sitting on the couch, and watching your friends getting chased by the cops, that's pretty cool. And that's definitely an innovative way to spectate somebody. And that's pretty much where the next question goes into. And the only people you can spectate are people that have wanted levels. Now, you can't just go spectate everybody, because that probably wouldn't be the greatest thing to watch. But, you know, if they have a wanted level, things are need a lot more better to watch and a lot more thrilling. Now, this next question actually deals with pretty much what everybody wants, and that's money. And basically, he was asking the guy, what sort of, how much money can you earn from certain missions? And obviously right now, they were saying that they don't know exactly yet. They're still testing it and seeing what's, you know, balanced, because they're trying to make it real life, and they don't want you to get a ton of money and then have every vehicle, every plane, and everything in the game. They want you to at least earn it, you know, like not really quickly, and they want you to be sort of a realistic sort of feeling when you play it. And then moving on into that whole realism, I know you can, we already know you can do this on single player, but you can actually invest in stocks and shares online. So that just adds more of that whole realism. And actually, one of the examples gave, which is really cool, is you can buy some shares in a car company, and then you can target the car company's cars, blow them up so that the insurance will replace them and the stock price will go up. So everything's tied in, he said, just like the single player, and that, you know, that just adds another dynamic to the multiplayer, which is going to make it even better than it already is. So one of the other questions they actually asked is, could you organize into cartels as an online group? And the guy said, yes, you can, but then you have to watch out for the government. So I'm not too sure what they haven't planned, what Rockstar hasn't planned for this whole government. And I mean, I don't know if that just means the police got to watch out for it or something, but that's really interesting to see. Actually, leave in the comments, what do you think they're going to do with the government? They're going to have like IRS agents or something coming around like taxing you? I don't know. It should be really cool to see though what they actually have planned. Then the next couple of questions, they sort of regard the map And I'll actually let me know in the comments as well if you guys want to see what the full map looks like. Because actually somebody sort of recreated the map, or what the map should look like. No, it's not everything perfectly 100%, but he recreated what the map should look like, and it's actually really neat. So let me know in the comments if I should do a video on that. But you can go read there's like 5 or 6 questions. I don't want to go through all of them. Basically, they said that, you know, there's a lot of the map that we still have not seen, and people were complaining, I don't know why, though, that the map still isn't that big, even though it's like, what, I think it's Red Dead Redemption and San Andreas combined, plus more stuff. So it's gonna be crazy, and I can't wait to explore everything. And hopefully, they said there's some interesting stuff out in the sort of deserts and all those places. Alright, so moving on from that, now they talk about some of the heists, and this goes more into the whole game modes and stuff that I mentioned in the first video. But they asked, are the heists going to be, but they asked pretty much what the heists are going to be like. And basically what the guy said was that at first they'll be sort of simpler, you know, pretty straightforward, go in, get the money, get out. But then they said as, you know, a lot more stuff comes out, and you know, as people get used to it, they'll get more complex, and there might be cameras and security guards and stuff like that. So it's definitely gonna be really cool. And like I said in the first one, their plan is to adapt and make this game better over time. So one of the things people were actually wondering a lot about is the whole underwater aspect. This is actually new to Grand Theft Auto. Like, some games you could swim in, but now you can actually go scuba diving and all that stuff. And pretty much they said that underwater and multiplayer is going to be a little bit plain, but then obviously, as you know, they said the first batch of content comes out, there are going to be a lot more stuff to do. Maybe, I don't know, I don't really know what kind of missions they could even do, like underwater, maybe like scuba diving for like treasure or something. I don't really know, but they have plans for it. So, you know, at first it's going to be a little bit plain, but then it's going to be better down the line. Now, one of the things, actually, it was kind of funny. One of the questions that the guy asked was pretty much about, can you play 4-player tennis? And the guy from Rockstar was like, man, we didn't even think of that. So if we see 4-player tennis in the game, obviously there's 2-player tennis, but if we see 4-player, then shout out to this guy who was doing the interview, because he gave him an idea. But moving on, they actually go in and talk about more of the whole anti-griefing system that they have planned. Now, I don't know how it's going to work, but basically they were saying that when you go play these mini games such as tennis or golf, there's not going to be a freaking jet coming down and, you know, bombing you and killing you, or a sniper's not going to, you know, get on a roof and snipe you while you're hitting the ball. So I don't really know how they're going to do that, but it's good to see that they're actually having that implemented so people don't ruin other people's, you know, the fun that they're having. Moving on though, the next one he actually talked in great detail about, and it was pretty much talking about these characters that you're going to meet throughout online. And he said as you, I guess, level up and sort of do more missions, you're going to meet newer people. And pretty much, you know, they sort of had this in GTA 4 where you can hit up on your phone or whatever, call somebody, and then they'll come pick you up. But actually, they're having a lot more detail this time around. And basically, each person, you know, has different abilities. Some person, like we did, like I said last time, last video, some person may come repair your vehicle, give it to you. Another person may drop a freaking airstrike. They gave an example of. You know, some other guys can come in, help you get the cops off your back. One of them, which is actually really cool, and it'll be good for deathmatch. You can call somebody to remove your blip off the mini-map, so that's pretty neat. But there's a lot of different things and a lot of different characters that you're going to meet, so you definitely want to leveling up to meet all these people, to have all these options. Now, that is pretty much it. They actually had a couple other questions. One of them was just saying that they were actually playing this, and they showcased this gameplay from the PS3, so if people were wondering about that, they talked a little bit more about some crews and how those can face off maybe with some missions and stuff like that, and then how some single player and GTA Online are pretty much the exact same. You know, they didn't change anything, it's still in the same engine, but we already knew that. And actually, the last question on this page has to do with the next generation, but what I'm going to do is actually, I'm going to make a separate video later on this week talking about next generation and possibly even GTA 5 coming to the PC. So if you want to be sure to see that video, don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss that. But that is pretty much it this video. We still have one more page to go, so I hope you guys enjoy, and that will be later out today. So don't forget to subscribe. Like I said, give this video a thumbs up if you want to see some more GTA 5 news. So do all that stuff. Like I said, leave in the comments the questions that I asked. If you remember, talking about the government, and if you would like to see a video on the GTA 5 map that the guy made. So let me know about that stuff. But anyways, hope you guys enjoy, and as always, it's your boy Saints. I'm out. Peace!